We are now we are live and back on Facebook.
You like that?
I like it.
Okay, just want to make sure you're okay there. Sorry we're a few minutes late. Had
3 minutes.
Had a slight...
It didn't want to play nicely.
Yeah, Facebook wasn't playing very nice, so...
Go figure.
Took me a second. Hope everything is going well for everybody tonight. Give you guys a few minutes here to get in the cabin. Hey, Deb, what's going on? All right, do a little sharing here. See who else is getting ready to pop in. We got a pretty good show for you tonight, folks. Hopefully everything will work like it should. Got a lot of cool stuff to show you and talk about. Get a couple more little posts done here.
Oh, okay, I see.
You all right?
You know, I hate when they change things.
Oh, you updated your...
Do an update and it's like, what?
Yeah, everything's moved.
Yeah, or it doesn't look... It looks different.
Right. Okay.
Travis Minton is now watching.
Hey, Travis, what's going on? I believe Travis was one I talked to on the live stream from up north at the lodge this weekend. I believe it was him that was on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was him. All right, here. One more second. Pop this thing, and we will get rocking. Okay. Are you ready to get going tonight?
Let's do it.
All right.
Last Sunday in April.
It is.
And starting the 12th season.
The 12th season of Up North Journal.
12th season. Episode 461.
Okay, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Adams, starting our 12th season. Dan DeFall with me in the cabin.
Absolutely. Congratulations on 12th season.
Thanks, man. 11 years officially. Our 11th anniversary was...
The 25th.
5th. Yes. The 25th.
425, right?
Yep. So...
Cool.
25. No, 11 years completed and starting our 12th season.
Excellent,
so,
excellent.
Gotta like it.
And we're rocking and rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in just in that honor, it looks like it's actually going to get warm.
I think so. This week's supposed to hit 70s like 3 days, I do believe.
Tuesday, 80.
I believe. Hey, Charles Barham. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Good evening, Charles, all the way from Iowa.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, it's been a week.
It has been a week.
It has.
Thank goodness it's been a week.
My week of turkey season.
Right on.
Has come to a close, and...
No gobble?
Well, it's that public land hunting.
Yeah?
Yeah, you just don't know what to expect when...
It's like a box of chocolates?
It is. It absolutely is like a box of chocolates.
Okay.
You expect some things, but things change at a moment's notice.
Well, what did you expect that you thought may or may not happen?
To tell you the truth, I was actually not surprised.
Not surprised.
I'm kind of worried about the number of birds in the area.
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking they're down. They're not what they used to be.
Okay.
So my thought is that they might have been either pushed out or they've gone to private land.
Predator?
Could be too. I'm thinking it's a combination of everything. There's some predation, and then you've got just the sheer pressure that they get probably pushed them out to private land. And
okay,
you know,
all right.
When you've got ample cornfields, big fields on various sides of the area, and
right,
you're asking them to stay here and eat this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, what do you think? Maybe nesting grounds? I mean, because there's a lot of natural high grass over in that area.
There is, but it could go back to what you said about the predation, right?
Maybe
you know, the little varmints that love their eggs.
Yeah, and
they might do
the bigger varmints that love the turkeys.
That's true too. One thing I did see, I've seen a lot of deer.
Okay,
this is like the most I've ever seen in that area.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I had to stop on the road for them to cross. It's like, really? Of course, come October 1st, if I were to ask them to stay there,
right,
they're not going to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was probably one of the best weeks I had.
Okay,
weather-wise.
Hey, Tom Genzel. Hello to you too.
And
thanks for watching.
It was probably one of my best weeks that I had weather-wise. I mean, a couple beautiful mornings, beautiful evenings, not too cold. The coldest morning, I think, was probably Saturday morning. It was cold and drizzly. You were up north.
Raining up there, too.
Yep. Not a lot of gobbling on the roost that I heard. So that tells me the bird numbers are probably down.
Okay. Could you hear them off in the distance on private land?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so
I heard one off on the distance, and all of a sudden I heard boom, boom.
Okay.
So I was like, poor guy.
Okay.
But I did see a couple in the field across the street as I was leaving one morning.
Okay. Were you running any calls trying to get them to persuade them to come over?
I was running my limb walker game calls, and I tell you what, Monday the opener was I kind of did it your style.
Okay.
I didn't put up a blind or nothing. I just kind of went where I knew I was going to go. Had a hen come in, talked to her a little bit. When she came into the field, I could hear it in the distance coming. I was like, okay. And then I heard a gobbling behind her.
Okay.
So I'm like, ooh, all right. Well, she broke into the field, and I'd call to her, and she'd call back, and all of a sudden I heard another call behind her and the gobbling. I'm like, oh, there's two hens.
Two hens and a gobbler, and he's got one of the hens.
Yeah, and all of a sudden that gobbling kind of turned and went the other way. And I was like, oh.
He was hand up.
Okay. So that was my opening morning, and then nothing really till Thursday morning I went out.
Okay.
And I snuck in to a new spot. There was no vehicles parked, I said, so I'm first here, so I'm going in.
Right.
So I snuck in there, held up to a tree, got comfy, and about 10 minutes after daylight, so I look over and a hen flies down off the roost.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had no idea it was there.
Okay.
It was about 50 yards in front of me.
Okay.
I'm like, wow. So she talked a little bit and then just kind of walked off.
Okay.
But there was no gobbling around. There was no gobbling. I didn't hear nothing. And then Thursday evening, I had two hens come in, and then she was putting and stuff, and so I was going back at her, kind of trying to get into a fight, and she just got all cheesed off, and she just went crazy in the woods. So I went back at her.
Right.
What ended up happening is they started coming at me.
Okay.
You know, they were going from my left to right, but I got them to turn and come right into me to about 15 feet.
Okay.
And they walked right by me. Of course, there was no gobbler behind them or anything like that.
Right.
It was like, come on.
Yeah. All right.
Here we
Show
go.
yourself. Right.
And then I went out Saturday morning. Heard some gobbling. Like, ooh. He's a little distance, though. So, okay. Mm-hmm. So I played a little bit, and he was there. As it went, about 9:30, he was just gobbling his head off. I said, all right, time to go in Mike mode. Mm-hmm. And I'm going after you.
Okay.
So I took off everything except my call and my gun.
You went bareback?
Well, I left my camo on, right?
Okay, well, you said you took off everything but your...
Right.
I
lightened the load.
Okay.
I said, I'm going after you. So I grabbed my gun, grabbed my one call and my mouth call, and I started sneaking through the woods. And I would call him, and he's calling back, and we're going back and forth. And I looked, and I said, okay, as you're walking through, you could see the train change, right? And there was one big hill that he was on the other side. Like, all right, I got to get to that hill, and then I can sit on top and look.
Take the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on the other side, I'm calling. He's calling back. I'm like, okay. So I sneak up there, and I look, and I get a great view. I'm like, oh, this is it. And I looked, and there wasn't anything to me that was a showstopper of them. Before, there was some down trees and some water that maybe he might have been a little...
Okay.
Didn't want to go around or anything. But, so I get to the top, and I start calling. And nothing. He shut up.
Tight lip. And you couldn't see him.
And I couldn't see him. I sat there and I was looking, and I sat there looking and looking and looking. I sat there for 10, 15 minutes. Not a peep out of him.
That's interesting.
And I'm like...
You think he saw you?
Sure. He might have. If I didn't see him first. But I didn't see nothing scooting out of the way or scooting.
You didn't see nothing running off.
Nothing running off.
Yeah.
But it's just like, ugh. So that ended my hunt.
Well, it sounds like you got some activity anyway.
I had some activity. I wish I would have had more. But, yeah, it was just being on public land. It was I had Wednesday night, Tuesday night. When did I move? Probably Tuesday night. I switched spots, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to go over. And, that parking lot was open, so I went to a field that I really like it. So I sat there, and about 6 o'clock at night, all of a sudden, here he comes, gobbling away. I'm like, all right. I'm waiting for him, and I got called to him, and he called back. I'm like, okay, you know where I'm at. But he stuck in the woods and just kept walking from my right to left.
He was standing in the cover.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, where are you at, ladies?
Yep. And he never broke out in the field. And I was like,
right.
Give me
let me see you.
Yeah. So that was my other close encounter. But he stuck to the cover.
Stay on the cover.
So then after that, I switched to go to the cover.
Were you running decoys?
I was running 2 decoys, a hen and a jake. I just like to run that so he sees another competitor. And
was there wind blowing your decoys at all, making any movement?
Yes. It was windy that night.
Okay, so there was a little movement, so you didn't get freaked out by him just sitting there.
Right. Matter of fact, when I had those 2 hens come in on Thursday evening, they came in and they were talking, and we were going back and forth, and they kind of looked at the decoys, and they actually got to the back of which would have been the jake, but they just
kept on going.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess they were hoping that he'd turn around and follow them, but
gotcha.
But yeah, but that was it. I've seen a few other hunters. So
that's a tough go.
It is. It's.
Is it going to make you change your dates or style of hunting or locations next year, you think, or no?
Location, maybe.
Okay.
Style? I don't think so.
Still want the same first week?
Yeah, I like that first week. I like getting out there. Tell you the truth, they were... That's why I'm saying I don't know how many birds there are.
Okay.
Because they were making noise. It's not like they were tight-lipped all week.
Well, I pulled trail cam photos, as a lot of you who are listening to the podcast or to watching live stream know. I posted some of those online this week, or this weekend. But the ones I didn't post are my turkey photos.
Oh, cool.
Actually, I haven't went through all my trail cam photos yet.
You haven't gotten there yet?
But no, I staged 2 cameras and was scouting for birds, and I generally know where they're at.
Okay.
Winter chicken dinner, I know where they're at. So we got some long beards, and I'm going to go after them.
There you go. You go next week. Not this week, coming up a week.
Well, I'll be up north next Saturday. We got to do our camp meeting, and then depending on timing and how long it runs and everything, my goal is, if I'm still there and the weather's good, I'm going to go out and hunt that afternoon.
Okay.
Do the evening hunt, see if I can lay down a bird or not. But if not, it depends on the weather and the way the birds are acting and just how things go. I might stay Sunday morning, but I doubt it. I'll probably just go ahead and come back home and then plan on the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah,
2 weekends hitting it.
According to the weatherman, it's going to break, and then now we're going to be talking warm weather. So
Right.
But, yeah, no, I don't think I'll change. I might change locations.
Right.
Try to go find where there's a... See, but the problem is, I know where there's a plethora of birds.
It's private land.
Well, that and the other public place where I know there's birds.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
everybody and their brothers.
You know how that goes.
Right.
So it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
I got you. Well,
it is what it is.
Yeah. All right.
But other than that, hey, it was good to be out. Good to see the sunrise in the morning.
Absolutely.
Nice temperatures.
Yeah.
Saturday was a little cold, but Thursday morning was just an absolute gorgeous morning. It was just one of those things that sun coming up, and
That's what makes turkey season so good.
yeah.
You know, so.
But one of the things about hunting in public land is Thursday night when I had my encounters with my hens. I sat down probably about 3 o'clock, and I sat till 8 o'clock, and I got to enjoy the sounds of bongos and drums.
Okay.
All 5 hours.
Was it a radio or was it somebody?
No, it was a group that was playing.
Oh, I guess 5 hours. It wouldn't be on the radio.
Yeah, it was a group playing.
You think that had anything to do with maybe?
No, I know they're kind of they're at least a half mile away.
Okay. All right.
But it was just, do you know how many different beats you can have to a bongo or a drum?
5 hours worth, probably quite a few.
But it all sounds the same after a while.
Right.
And it was just like, really?
Thanks.
So they stopped, I think it was like 7:30, 7:45. It's like,
Finally.
oh, I'm done hunting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go figure.
So I got to enjoy that.
Well, I tell you what, we're bumping up here close to our break, so why don't we go ahead and take our first break, and we come back. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
Yes,
Actually,
we do.
I don't know if we can cram it all in or not, but we're going to step outside, take our first break. We come back, we will continue the conversation of weekend up north and whatever else.
That's right.
All right, we'll be right back after this. For those you on the live stream, hang on 1 second.
Jerry Lambert is watching. Lincoln Roan is watching.
Hey guys, thank you.
Give us a share.
Yeah.
Tell us everybody about us.
Don't mind, give us a share over there on Facebook land. You got any questions, throw them our way.
All right.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I got to save this off here. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
Should have. I went to Home Depot yesterday and today.
Yeah?
The place is a zoo.
Yeah, warm weather brings it.
You got it. That's exactly what it was. It was like, all right, finally, weather's broken and everybody's heading to it.
Okay, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Second segment of the show. Before we go any further, we got some news we want to share.
We do.
We should have done it right off top, but we didn't. So
No. We want to ease into this.
right. So
But if you've been listening to the show the last couple weeks, you will have noticed that we tried a new coffee right here. Hunter's Blend, Awaken the Hunt, huntersblendcoffee.com. But the good news from them is they are now the official coffee sponsor of Up North Journal.
you know how I like coffee.
Yeah, well, that plays right in to you.
So
We
want to thank them for
getting on
board.
board.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Get over to huntersblend.com. Check them out. It's definitely coffee with a purpose. Keeps you awake.
Yep, Awaken the Hunt.
Awaken the hunt.
And
don't have it too late at night because it keeps you awake.
That's right. And these guys, they contribute to the outdoors and outdoor organizations and things like that. And actually, we're going to get them on the show here real soon.
Matter of fact, what's going on? We're trying to have them on this week, but I guess they're in the process of moving the company. Mm-hmm. So
Moving to a new facility.
So they're a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully in May, we'll break them free from their move, and we'll have them on the show and talk more with them.
Yeah.
But they are now the official coffee sponsor of Up North Journal.
So make sure you go over right there's their website, huntersblendcoffee.com.
Yeah, check them out and take them with you to camp.
I did.
You did.
I did this weekend. So right here's the bags, the coffee.
12-ounce
12-ounce
bag.
bags. So go over and check them out.
Yeah, it's a real.
Get some ordered.
I'm not a coffee connoisseur like you are by no means, but it's one of the smoothest coffees that. It's funny. Sometimes I'll have this in the morning on my way to work, on my drive, and then I'll get there, and then I'll have a cup of something that's provided there. It's like
Right. Well, Jake, he likes coffee.
Yeah.
My youngest boy, he just turned 19. Big shout out to him. He just turned 19 this week.
Just had a birthday.
So, but for a kid his age in college, he drinks coffee and he kind of takes it after me a little bit, and we got our pot of coffee ready for the show tonight, and we had a little left over. I was like, give us a try and tell me what you think. And he's, I said, just try it.
Right.
What you think? So he did. Right before he left to go back to school, he's heading back down to college. And he's like, wow. He said, this is smooth.
It is.
This is good.
It's one of the smoothest coffees I've had compared to big name brands.
Yeah.
Man. And that, I think, the one we use at work in our coffee station is Dunkin' Donut. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they bring it in or whatever, but it's like, talk about a 180 from a smooth to a
Gotcha.
Oh, man, it is just out there. But yeah, welcome to
the Up North Journal.
Welcome to the Up North Journal.
Hunter's Blend Coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see them around at camp, around the breakfast table, around the blind.
I made two pots of it up at camp this weekend while I was up there.
Okay.
You know, and man, you talking about the mornings, getting up early in the morning and getting fired up. I actually woke up at 4:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. I don't know why. I went to bed.
It's my normal time I get up.
10:30ish, you know, maybe 11. 4:30. But I woke up and I was like, bang! I was wide awake. I tried to lay back down, and I did, and I tossed and turned. But I finally got up about 7 o'clock. Made a pot of coffee, went outside, drank my cup of coffee. Out there watching the birds come in, the geese and the ducks hitting the water, and yeah, it was electric, man. It was really good.
Is snow all gone?
No,
not yet. Okay, it'll be gone.
There's actually, I was going to load a photo tonight, and I actually forgot to.
Oh, okay.
Of me driving out of camp, the road coming in, there was a little bit of snow. So
give a shout out. Tim Cias is now watching us on the live feed.
Hey, Tim.
Lim Walker game calls. You'll be using those calls when you're up there. I used them all last week.
Got them right here, right down here in front. If you can see them here in the photo. Well, you know what? Oh, let me drop the name banner here so everybody can see what we're talking about. And there you go. You can see them right there.
There you go. There's the calls.
Lim Walker game calls. So
get your calls. I'll tell you, they're awesome. He has got. You know what? I was using. He sent us a few calls, so I was like going through them all. Mm-hmm. It was like just trying this one, trying the glass, trying the glass over slate, trying the slate, trying the red slate, trying the aluminum. But man, they all sounded so good.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tim shot his bird over the red slate, which is
I think it was, yes.
Which it was the per call.
Yep. It was it was man. I ended up being the one I was using the most was the glass over slate.
Okay.
Just because I could spin it in my hand.
Okay.
And but man, brought some hens in.
Yeah. Well, okay. Good.
So, it worked.
They liked it. You just need to get where there's some toms.
Yeah.
So
I heard them.
But I'm looking forward to it. You know, if I can get out next Saturday, that's my goal. Saturday evening. If I get if I go up after work on Friday night.
Okay.
I might try to set the clock and get up early and get out there before our camp meeting. I did that last year, and actually I rolled a tom. I missed my distance.
You rolled it. Maybe you should start a tradition. Shoot a tom before the meeting.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, come back with that in my turkey sling.
Right, exactly.
Hang it up over there on the pole, and everybody can look at it while we're talking at camp.
There you go, talking deer and looking at your turkey. But I was out turkey hunting, and you were up doing a
deer browse.
Do you want to talk about the survey, or do you want to talk about the photos?
Well, before we did the survey, I got up there. I took Friday off work.
Okay.
Went up to camp so I could get everything opened up for the season. You know, that we already turned the water and everything on. And I just needed to get everything kind of freshened up and opened up for camp. And we were having about 15, 20 people over Saturday morning for the deer browse survey that we're going to do. But when I got there, I went in, turned the water on, and opened a couple doors real quick. And I needed to get some gear out of my Jeep, so I got the cooler out, had food in, put it inside the door, made sure I had propane for the grill so we could do the hot dogs.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I need to run and check and make sure that the snow is off the main road so I can get back to where we're going to do the survey.
Okay.
You know, because there's one spot right when we first came in, there was some snow. There was a little, you know, shaking and dicing and trying to get through it. It wasn't real deep, but it was real icy and hard because in the shadows. So I took off, and I was gone for about 2 hours. Checked trail camera photos and all that kind of stuff. Pulled all my cards, got back, and I started unloading my other personal stuff. And I walked into my room, put it on the bed, and I turned around to come out, and I'm like, "What's that noise?" I hear this little.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, that sounds like air pressure coming out of a tire. And I looked, and the door to my sink was open, and there was a water leak. Oh. And it had been leaking for 2 hours.
In your little room there?
Yeah.
At your sink?
Yeah, it had leaked out about 1.5 feet in front of it, over to the door, and halfway through my closet. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
So I got the water. I shut the valve and everything off, and yeah, I spend the next 3 hours or so mopping, trying to pad up the carpeting best I could, turn the heater wide open, and actually there's a crew up there today pulling carpet, moving all the stuff out of my room, and getting it ready for me when I come back up.
Is there now you're piping copper?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh.
Yep. But it wasn't the pipe that cracked.
Busted.
It was at the bottom of the valve. You know, you got a little usually a 90-degree little service block that comes out and goes up to your sink.
Yep.
And it's got a valve on it.
Yep.
Well, these are specifically made. You got the valve, but the valve doesn't turn the water flow off to the sink. It turns it off. There's a cap on the bottom, and it's a drain plug.
Okay.
So what had happened is that valve was open. In the drain plug, it actually, it's like a freeze plug. It had cracked, I guess. So I just reached there and turned them off, and
all right.
It quit leaking. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, long story short.
Have I been there?
Yeah, it wasn't good. But the good news is I started going through trail cam photos. And for any of y'all who have been online this weekend have seen some of them that I've posted. But for those of you who haven't, I'm sorry for you guys on the podcast. You
can go to Facebook. You can check them out. Mike's got a post over there.
But actually, come to the live stream here when you posted on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, you can see it on the live stream if you haven't checked it.
And it should be posted on our page as well.
Yeah, I posted on the page.
Well, it's posted on our page after we get done recording.
After we get done tonight, you'll see it.
But if you want to go to YouTube on Wednesday.
Or I'll repost it again on Facebook Wednesday.
But, yeah. That's, if you guys remember, about a month ago, we put 2 trail cameras up over a deer carcass. Deer had just expired within a day, maybe 2.
Yep.
You know, we did a little necropsy on it right there in the field, figured out what was going on, if you guys have seen that video. Basically, it was malnutrition, starved to death.
Right, exactly.
And
so you decided, hey, let's put a couple trail cameras over it.
Well, we scared an eagle off of it when we drove up to it. So I knew birds were going to be back on it. And I'm like, well, we'll probably get the eagle, but we'll get other birds. We'll get, the coyote, the bobcat, probably,
Anything that's going to want to have a little dinner.
Yeah, so I threw up one with video and one with stills. Now this one you can see is obviously the still, but right behind the eagle there's another tree there, and I've got the video camera on that one.
So one way you're pointing a still mode camera, and the other way is a video mode camera.
But the video camera is pointing more towards the ground.
Okay.
Actually, in this photo here where you see the eagle flying through, you can't see it on the other camera, because it's angled down a little more towards the ground to catch whatever's coming in to eat on.
Okay.
On the carcass. So.
But yeah, that is a gorgeous. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. The bald eagle is a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
Let me take that back. A mature bald eagle is a beautiful bird.
Right. But I'm just going to flip through a couple of these here. Here's another one that I haven't shared online yet.
That is just cool.
And is this?
This is the one that actually you just found. We just kind of discovered something in this photo tonight.
Yeah, and actually it's if you look towards the right-hand side, underneath the bird there, underneath his tail, right at the edge of the screen, is the deer carcass laying down there. And what I didn't know, I thought was snow, but there's another eagle's head there.
And I asked you when we were looking at these before the show, I said, do you have more than one eagle?
Yeah.
No, I got one eagle.
Yeah. No, there's two.
Now you got two mature eagles. You said you have an immature one.
Right. Yeah. Well, I got an immature one as well that I've got on camera. But yeah, if you're looking at the photo right under his tail where it looks like it's snow, just look to that left-hand side there, and you'll see the other eagle head sticking out of the frame there. And we just caught that, so that was pretty cool of seeing that. So let me go to another image here. Now this one here just simply blew me away.
That is a great in-flight still photo.
It is. It's incredible. There's two photos. This one and I think not the next one, but the one after I'm going to show you here. It's just simply incredible. In this same sequence here, this is another image of him flying. Obviously, same thing. A little bit blurry, but what I like about this photo is you can really see the talons.
Yeah.
Hanging out the back there. I thought that was pretty cool. So, and this one here, this one right here, to me, that's called the money shot.
That's right.
That screams America.
That does. And I tell you what, it's to put it in perspective how big that bird is in reality.
Right.
That little crow on the bottom there, he's in trouble.
Yeah, the crow on the bottom there is like, I'm getting out of here.
Right.
And I zoomed in on these, obviously, here on the last couple, but, just to kind of show you, a little closer up of what
Really
it really
cool.
look like.
I mean,
the lighting's perfect. The sun was just coming up. I believe this photo was taken around 9 or 10 in the morning. It was just up over the tree line. Good sunny day.
and the sun's coming down on him. And
yeah, that right there is the best trail cam photo I've ever got in my life.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That one and the other one, that first one with him flying across.
I mean, that's just, it's wild. That's just,
to put a camera out in the wild, just randomly. I mean, we knew birds were around, but I mean, I got lucky, obviously. We put the cameras up and we actually got them. It was just incredible.
Right. You sit there, and trail cameras, you put them out there, you point them and say, okay. And then
you get what you get. It's like Christmas morning, though.
Exactly what you said. It was like going through Christmas morning of photos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just like...
You just never know. And I've got some cool stuff before, but nothing like this.
And it's like you see these photos, but you didn't even know that your carcass got dragged off on you.
No, and that was the thing is the carcass it got drug off to the side, and that's really the reason we didn't get any video of the eagles on the carcass was because as I was going through them, I finally found out that a bobcat had actually drug them
Yeah,
off.
you set up the photos, the cameras pointing at a carcass, and come find out somebody changed your location of your carcass.
Right. Well, I tell you what, we're running up here on time for our next break. Let me get back off this here for just a second, and let's step outside, take our next break. We come back. I want to continue this conversation on this because I got some other things that was kind of eye-opening as well. So
all right, cool.
We'll blaze through that, and then we'll talk about the deer browse study.
There you go.
All right, we'll be right back after this, folks. For those of you on the live stream, just hang on a second here. Let me save this off, and we'll get rocking on the third segment of the show.
Yeah. Year 12, 461, third segment.
You're talking about 12 years, going on our 12th season, our 11th anniversary. When we started this, I never dreamed that it would
last this long.
Yeah, I just, had no...
Well, like we talked about before, it started with you and Mikey, and you didn't know how far it was going to go then.
Well, this is what, your third year?
This will be okay. Hold on.
2014. This will be your fourth year. Starting your fourth year this
September, August, I think is when July, August is when
somewhere in there.
He started coming over in Linden.
Yeah, right around episode 265. So you're bumping up on 200 episodes yourself here.
So it was just one of those things, but it's been fun. Love it.
Been a ride.
Love being on the radio and with you.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Third segment of the show. We've been talking a little bit about, the eagle photos and all this stuff that's been going on and talking about different critters and things. But I did jump right back into this. I got another photo here that kind of blew me away. And what you're looking at is a coyote. Putting these two cameras across from each other. Really didn't know what to expect and how they would, how it would really... if one would help the other. And here's a case of it that it did.
Yeah.
You know, the camera on the tree, the light you're seeing, is the one that was taking video.
That's your video camera pointed down at the deer carcass.
At the deer carcass, yeah. And, you know, there's the coyote coming in, you know, over the site. The actual animal had already been drug off by Mr. Bobcat. But he come in just sniffing around looking. But, you know, these are Browning cameras. And, you know, you've heard me talk about these things before, but these are the no flash, you know, infrared cameras. And what you're seeing is the infrared being shown off that camera to pick up the image of the coyote.
And the coyote's not even being...
No, it didn't phase him a bit. Didn't phase him a bit. And that, you know, that's a still, obviously, from the other camera. That's what you're seeing. And it kind of lit him up. You can see how it's kind of backlit so you can see the silhouette.
It lit him up, and it lit up there's a little guy in the bushes there. Looks like some eyeballs.
Yeah, there's some other eyeballs there. I don't know if that's another critter or if that's, you know, a lens refraction of some sort. I'm not really sure. But, you know, here, this right here is the video of the coyote coming in, you know, and doing his thing there. So, as you can see, you know, the bright spot is what we were seeing on the still.
Yep.
Okay. When that other camera went off.
And now the reason why he's going that way is because the carcass got moved on you.
Yeah. Right. Now, if what we're talking about here is, we'll flip over to that video.
Oh yeah, you see.
There's the.
That's where the carcass started.
Yep. That's a bobcat dragging it off. You know, and. You think about a bobcat the size of them, and they can get pretty decent in size. But this cat, you know, he's working, he's dragging that deer off.
He is giving all he's got to move that deer.
And this photo, or that video was taken, I got to think back now, that was 3/18. That was at 2, no, is that 2? Yeah, 2:49 in the morning after I had put that camera up. I put that camera up the day prior at about 4 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon.
And he was there 12 hours later, dragging it off, saying, "Hey, I'm taking my dinner."
Yep, dragging it off. You know, so he drug it out of the way. And actually, let's go to another video here. He came back the next night at 8 that evening, and he's come back in looking for, like, okay, is there any scraps left? You know. But he actually drug it out of the camera frame, and that's the reason I never got the eagles on video.
Right, because he moved it.
Yeah, I could see like their tail feathers and wing tips and stuff like that in the video, but he drug it completely out of the camera frame.
Next time you have to drive a stake through the carcass, so it doesn't have to move.
You know, you say that, and that's funny you say that because I actually thought of that.
You know, no, really, you get a piece of re-rod of 2 feet long and
put a piece of wire to the leg or something and you stake it down.
Stake it down because look what happened.
Yeah,
right?
keep it from dragging.
And that'll happen again the next one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They'll drag it to the next cover.
That was pretty cool. You know, getting those images.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just awesome.
But you know, kind of moving along here.
Oh, speaking of predators, did you see any bear tracks?
Not a one.
Not a one.
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
But I may have them on camera on the one I haven't checked yet.
Oh.
I got all the pictures. I just haven't went through them yet on another camera. So, but this photo here, this was the early December, or I mean not December. This is the early April snowstorm we had here in Michigan. If you look at the front legs on that deer to the left, you know the snow's pretty deep there. It's right up to his, not quite to his knees, but it's
foot of snow.
Yeah, probably about a foot of snow, roughly.
Yeah.
You know, and this was the morning after the big snow. So, you know, just kind of to show the relationship there of what was going on. And then this is later on. This right here is actually the 21st of April. This was after the ice storm come through.
Okay.
And dumped another 15 inches of snow or what have you on the ground. And if you look at this deer, he's browsing on pine needles.
He's going for anything he can eat.
This goes back to what we were talking about with the property being overbrowsed, and you know the habitat needing to be changed around a little bit. The food plots getting overbrowsed. It's just we got too many deer on the property for the amount of food that we have, and you know that's one reason I wanted to show that photo. And right here's another up close photo of a mother and a yearling. Same thing.
Same tree.
One. Yep, same one. And there's another deer back in the pines behind it. And there's one off to the right-hand side in the pines, and they're doing the same thing. I've got several photos of deer doing this, and But this one right here, this next one, this is what confused me. The snow's all gone, it's melted, but they're still doing the same thing. They're coming in, they're eating on browse, woody stem material.
Anything they can get their
little choppers on.
Yep, exactly.
Because our food plots right now, actually this weekend they were green. What little bit was growing, but there's very little growing. I mean, it's minuscule. If you remember last year, we said everything got mowed to the dirt. It looked like a putting green, but
It was that tight.
It was that tight, but there was more dirt than there was green.
Well, hopefully this week it gives them a good green up, because I noticed down here the buds on the trees are popping, leaves and stuff on the underbrush.
Right.
That they're starting, so it'll give them something.
Right.
Hopefully this week it'll be a good one for them.
Well, and you and I, we talked about this, and I've zoomed this picture up so I could see it on my tablet when I first got it, so I could really see what that was in his mouth. I'm like, is that a stick? It's not a stick. It's actually looks like material from the intestinal tract. It looks like a piece of intestine that's been stretched out and dried. And I don't know that that's what it is, but it's some byproduct of an animal.
That's what you kind of look at it and it goes, it's not bark, it's not.
Well, there has been deer known to eat the remains of somebody who died out in the field. Last year somebody got some proof of them eating on human remains. So they will eat birds occasionally that are died and dropped. I've heard that as well. So they are carnivorous when they have to be. But I didn't know they were cannibals.
Wow.
But I think that's really what I think, because
with the carcass being around, you don't know where everything got scattered to.
Right. If you look, there's a log on the ground. Right off the end of the tip of his nose a little bit there. And right behind that's where the deer carcass was. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But if you look at this next photo, he's eating the same thing. It's laying there on the ground. And if you look at the photo before, that black strip is not there on the ground. So he dropped it down, to do his little nibbling. And then this one here, he's got a piece of it in his mouth. So he's chewed a piece off.
He's chewed it off and he's eating it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's wild.
So,
it's survival, man. You do what you got to do.
It is. That's this time of the year, that's exactly what it is. It's survival, and I guess they eat what they have to,
Did you see a lot of deer this weekend just roaming around, or?
On our place, I didn't see as many as I thought I'd see. They're still coming out of the wintering grounds, but on the way home, I seen deer everywhere. But I will say this, every field of ours that I went past had deer in it, and everyone had their nose to the ground eating, okay, where there was green. And they'd look up and look at me if I was a couple of times I was walking. I went out and took a morning walk on Saturday morning, and they looked at me, and that was probably within 75 yards of them.
They just said, hey, you
put
keep
their head
walking.
back down and kept browsing. They didn't pay me any attention, And during the deer browse study, at one point we got, I would say, less than 50 yards away from a pack of 5.
Really?
And they lifted their heads up, looked at us. We just stood there, and I had the video camera. I was taking video and stuff. And once we just kind of stopped and stood there, they went back to browsing. And once we started stepping towards them, they would move off at about the same pace we were trying to approach.
Oh, okay.
They kept the distance.
They just kept that buffer between.
But they didn't run away. They kept feeding.
Yep, because it's food.
And then on the way home, every field I saw on the way home was full of deer yesterday afternoon. And it didn't matter if it was morning, afternoon, or evening. Deer were feeding.
Over in the private area down the road, there every evening when I was coming out of the woods, from they're in there. Mm-hmm. They were just their head down and mowing away.
Right. Well, it's that time of year. Green ups here. They've had a hard winter, and they're just trying to put the feed back on.
Yeah, exactly. They got some catching up to do. Unfortunately, we had that. This is going to be the coldest April on record.
Yeah, March was too. March was the coldest or second coldest, and we broke the record for the most snowfall here in Flint. So
right, exactly. You mentioned that, but yeah. So hopefully we get some green up going. I think this week with 70s, 80s should be.
Right.
The blossoms should be popping. And
well, the turkeys that I saw on trail camera, which I didn't have time to get any of those photos gathered, they all looked healthy. They all look, they look good. They look like they do in the springtime.
Good.
So, and actually, I had more birds on trail cam than I expected to see.
Really?
Yeah. So that's good. I saw one really nice flock cruising through my field, which got me excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Should hear some gobbling next weekend.
Right. You know what? I tell you what. Let's see what little bit of time we got. Let's take a quick break. Take our last break. Come back. Let's talk about the deer browse survey that we did, because I think that's really important. We need to get that information out.
All right.
We're going to step outside, take our last break. We'll be right back after this. For those of you on the live stream, hang on. And you got any questions? Throw them our way.
Jim Miller's peeking in.
Hey, Jim. Did you get a bird yet? Or actually, I think I don't know, he might have that same season I do.
Okay. Second half.
Yeah. Not sure. Alrighty. Save that one off. Alright, here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show tonight. Talking about deer, turkey, trail cams, our coffee company that's supporting us.
Absolutely.
All kinds of good stuff.
Fresh coffee.
Yeah.
Talking hunting.
Yeah.
I don't see there's a problem there.
No, I gotta get a drink of coffee though.
Yeah. No. Not a problem at all. They proud to join us. Proud to have them. But you were up north actually for a purpose.
Yes. I've been trying to get this done. I did a deer browse survey last year up at the Anchor Creek Deer Cooperative. Perry Woods, who is head of that, invited me up, and I learned a lot. I'm like, I need to do this down at in our area and use this as a tool to not only figure out what's going on our property, but to get other landowners in the area around to join us and have a meeting, bring maybe some new people, expand the co-op, educate some people, and just have some fun.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. And you had some good weather for it.
Yes, we were worried though. We had that big snow and that ice storm. So I was like, is this going to work or not? But we got enough snow off. Actually, in the woods, it's just in the shade. You'd see little piles here and there. I think I might have stepped in snow during the browse survey twice.
Okay.
As I was running a transect. So basically, what we did is, you want to run 2 transects. It was basically a straight line on your property for a half mile.
Okay.
And then once you run that first one, then you turn 90 degrees and you go, perpendicular 90 degrees, approximately 300 steps or 1,000 yards. Okay, roughly. Or not 1,000 feet. Excuse me, 1,000 feet.
Okay.
And then you turn around and you go right back the same direction that you came from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're running north, when you get to your half mile mark, then you'll go either east or west, 1,000 feet, and then you'll turn around and you'll head back south for a half mile.
Okay.
So the piece of property we did on ours, we actually had enough people. We ran one on the north end, and we ran one on the south end. The south end, where I was at, was actually only a quarter mile wide, so we ran 4 transects.
Oh, okay.
Which, we pretty much covered that south end, which was nice. And I knew pretty much what the results were going to be. We don't have regeneration. Where we do have any regeneration, the deer are over browsing it. We got a big congregation of deer on the property, and we did a pellet count as well. And obviously, you see the deer poop where the food is.
Yep.
And that was eye-opening for one of the people who was with me, Tom Wright, who I do On the Trail with.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He came up to camp, and he wanted to learn about what we were doing, and we actually shot 3 stories up there for On the Trail that we're going to be putting on at the TV station.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
We're going to share them here on the website, and we do that every week.
Yep.
And as soon as we get those done, those will be coming out probably, won't be this week, won't be the first one. We're going to be doing a turkey hunt, actually, this coming week. But after that, we're going to release these 3 videos. 2 of them are on Deer Browse Survey, and then the other one's on deer co-ops and how they all work together. So, but, he said something that was, very insightful, as we got towards the end of this. He said, I've never counted deer poop in the woods. I've never really, you see it and you're like, oh, there's some deer poop, whatever. But he said, I've never looked at the ground for browse to see what they eat, where they're eating, what they're eating, and what time of year. And then the correlation of that with food plots and with deer poop. He said, it's simply eye-opening with what I've learned up here. He said, he said, I will never be able to walk through the woods again without looking at deer poop and browse together and making that correlation as to what's going on. So, that was the purpose. That's what I want to do, was to help teach some people, that to use that tool.
Absolutely.
And we had 2 other landowners come in with us.
Okay.
And they did browse surveys on their properties. One of them was not part of the co-op, but is going to join the co-op, hopefully. And the other one, the last one was All Band Communications, who we're doing, the Wildlife Research Center with.
Right.
They've got some land up there, and we went over to their property as well. But so we had a representative from All Band there. Tom Wright from Williams Gun Sight was there. Anna Mitterling from MUCC is the one who educated everybody on it and conducted the survey, and I'm waiting to get the results back from her on what everything means.
Yeah, what does it all mean?
On each property. And Perry Wood was there.
Oh, Perry Wood came over, okay.
Yeah, he came from Anchor Creek to help out. So, I went to his, he came to ours, so that was a huge help. And took a group out who didn't know how to do one, and so it kind of gave them some confidence in what they were doing. And Emily Soul, the new wildlife health coordinator for the DNR, she came and helped out. And Wayne and Luke Sitton from Turtle Lake came over and helped out as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, we had some great people with great deer knowledge helping to make this happen.
Yeah, so, no kidding.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really awesome.
And it was nice to have like a Perry Wood there who had done one of these before, so he could take a group with himself. He knew what they're,
Yep, here's what you look for.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Awesome. So,
but yeah, as we were walking, we got close to some deer, and they just simply. Like, yeah, I see you over there. We're going to keep eating.
Yeah, we're a little hungry. So now you're waiting back from Anna with the results.
Right.
Now you're going to get, I'm assuming, a sheet of paper or something and kind of details what you found, what this means, and what you need to do.
Some recommendations.
Yeah. That's what
we already know we need to change our habitat. We do know that. We need to improve our food plots. We need to reduce the amount of deer on the property. And the easiest way to reduce population is definitely taking does. The doe harvest.
Yeah, absolutely. That you got to bring that doe harvest. We've talked about the one of the things you can do is doe harvest, right?
Yep.
As a hunter. And speaking of does, speaking of deer, did you find any more dead deer?
Found one, and actually I was surprised that we didn't find more because we were really worried with these last 2 storms that hit in April.
You only found one.
Only found one, but we were only on 2 sections of property. I really didn't walk heavily through my area. Something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. I mean, my eye was to the sky. I was looking for ravens and crows. That's telltale stuff.
Oh yeah.
Had I seen some, I'd went and put another camera up, obviously. But no, only found where one had died and been scattered. So that was it.
That might be a good thing.
Yeah, I hope. But I tell you what, a lot of truck cam photos I saw, some of the deer look good. The ones that look good were mature does. Go figure. Who gets the best food? The mature does.
Yep.
They're going to kick all the other ones off.
They pack it on the most and they kick everybody out.
The ones that looked the worst were the young.
The young ones and the bucks.
Yeah, the young. Well, I didn't see anything that was like, a big-bodied buck that had dropped antlers. I didn't see anything like that. But where I had my camera at, I wasn't expecting to see that. But I did see some yearlings, and some smaller bucks and does. And the smaller bucks and does, they definitely look like they've been taxed to the hilt, as far as being pushed and stressed.
It's late, and I'll have to email my Brock up north and see how it's going. I'm hoping the warm weather got up there to knock it down, and like you said, if it's just in the shady areas, that's a good thing.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see what she comes up with recommendations. Like you said, you already know what some of the things you got to do. There might be a couple more tidbits.
Right.
You definitely need to shoot a few more does.
Yeah, and actually we got a couple game plans of things we want to try. We're going to present and hopefully get some people together to do that. We just got to work through some logistical things.
And you know what? To tell you the truth, you've got the proof right in your hand. With the report.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to do something. This isn't Mike off the top of my brain.
Right.
Talking and saying, let's do this. No.
Right.
Here it is.
Well, and actually, I do have to say that our guys at camp are really good about shooting does. Last year we didn't hit our target number, but it's surrounding landowners. We need some help. You can't rely on just one group of guys to do it. It's got to be area wide.
That's the thing. This is a team thing.
It's team effort.
It's a hunter. It's team hunters.
Yeah.
It's your group. It's the camp next to you. It's the camp above you. It's the you can do your part, but if everybody does their part, then everybody wins.
Yeah.
If you have one that's doing it but not the next people, it kind of defeats the purpose, right?
Right,
absolutely. But you definitely got to. Got to do something.
Step to the plate.
Yep.
Just step to the plate, help out, because, and that was one reason I wanted to do the deer browse survey. It's like I already knew pretty much what was going to happen. I knew the answers, and I've done one, and I've seen it all over our place, but I wanted to use this as a tool to gather people together, and that's what was great with Perry, with the group he was with. He was talking to them about that as they were doing the deer browse survey, talking about you need to shoot more does. This is, look at this right here. This is a sign of it.
Yep.
This is what are some of the things that they cause, and using all this as an educational experience. And we had two younger people with us as well, and I'm like, man, that's great, because I said, the one was from one camp, one was from our camp, and I'm like, you know what, you guys are gonna be running these camps in 10, 20, 30 years from now.
That's right.
Learn when you can teach somebody at that age deer stewardship, and they can take that and they grow up with it. And then they apply it as they go forward. It starts that changing of the mind from old school to using science to make it a better place.
Exactly. And and you know what? I think it goes a long ways when you can show them something like a study, as opposed to guys and girls sitting around a table. Hey, we've been doing this for 20 years. We know what we're doing.
That was set up there when we were all together at the table, and we had lunch. And that was another thing, everybody kind of brought a dish to pass, and we all sat down and ate together and started sharing camp experiences and, camp dynamics and things that were going on. And one of the guys from one of the other camps, he said, this is what we were always told. This is the way we grew up, because they never saw deer up there. If you had a hunt and you seen a deer track while you're up there, or seen a deer, that was a good hunt.
Yeah.
Because there used to not be a lot of deer there. But now, on the other hand, it's completely flipped. But when you've got those older generations who really had, had very limited resources, you didn't cut trees down because it takes a long time for them to grow, and that's the habitat. Well, now we know differently. We know that there's science provided that old growth forests do not support good deer habitat.
Plus, I think through science, the hybrids, the different trees that they've come up with that are a little bit faster growing. That oaks take a long time, but if you can have acorns within 5 years of planting something, that's a lot better than the old. Hey, there's a little one growing up.
It's going to take 30 years before it gets up.
Right. So you've got the hybrid oaks. You've got the different science configurations that they're using for the trees and different things. So, it's helping now. But I think the educational part of being able to show somebody the educational side of it. Here's why. This isn't us talking. So they can take that knowledge and keep going. Like you said, they're going to be running the place in 10 to 20 years.
Right.
But now they're going to learn why and what to do when they get, okay, I remember doing that 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
So they can talk to a biologist, say, hey, we did this 15 years ago. What do we need to do now?
Yep, and this is what we're dealing with.
Right.
Yep.
So that's, again, education.
Absolutely so.
while we're talking, just got a message from Jeff McAvoy. Actually, we talked with him we talked about new turkey hunters. It must have been on episode 455.
Okay.
And how you would shape the peg.
Okay.
And we talked back. He sent us a picture that he was able to call in a flock.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
A flock. He said he got them within 20 yards. Unfortunately, they're all Jakes, and he wanted to take a bigger tom for his first bird. Thanks again for the info, and congrats on the 12th season.
That had to be exciting.
Absolutely.
That had to be real exciting, and once again, sharing a little knowledge, passing it along, helping other people. And that's what we got to do as hunters, an outdoorsman and fisherman. And I was online this weekend with a guy I used to work with. He was going up to the Asabo, first time trout fishing.
Oh, he's going to go do some trout? That opened up this Saturday,
weekend,
right?
Yeah, Saturday morning, yep. And, I was throwing tidbits and pointers to him as we were talking back and forth on Facebook. And, I said, hey, try this, go to this spot. I've fished here before and, had some decent luck. You use these patterns. And it's like, you're not giving away rocket science. You're not giving away the farm. You're not giving away that secret spot. Pass some knowledge along. Help people out, because if you can get them involved.
You mean you're not going to let them go catch your fish?
The ones that's got my name written on.
Right, exactly.
Right.
I know. I know. You sometimes talking with some people, you literally have to pull their molars out just to get any information, because they think they're going to give you the golden secret to shooting bear deer.
Right.
But yeah, we just got that as we were doing the show, so that was kind of cool.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad it worked out.
You definitely called one in and called 20 in.
There you go.
Cool. I would have been happy with that.
Right. You better be glad Danny wasn't sitting next to you, because he'd have shot one of those chicks.
It would have been. I'd have been.
He'd have had turkey dinner.
Yeah, it would have been lights out.
That's good.
So good job. Keep it up. Keep us informed. You're probably still hunting. Let us know.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's wrap up the podcast portion of the show here this week. I know there was a lot of information that we give this week that was actually visual. You guys are going to have to go over.
Go to our Facebook Live, and it'll be posted after the show, obviously, and then again on Wednesday I'll re-release it, and you can sit down and listen to it and watch it on YouTube. Yeah,
it's there's a lot of good information there. Just from the pictures alone, what I saw, while I was just looking through the photos, it verified a lot of the things I thought was going on. So
absolutely.
Not that they're good things. It's just I'm worried about it, but it's just more proof.
Yep. And don't forget, check out our newest sponsor of Up North Journal,
Hunter's Blend. Absolutely.
Go over to, actually, there's Hemisphere's Coffee, HemisphereCoffeeRoasters.com.
And HuntersBlendCoffee.com.
There you go.
So
check them out.
And thanks to them for joining us here at the Up North Journal. So always love a good cup of coffee.
Yes, you do.
All right, that'll do it for us this week, folks. Y'all be safe out there. And for those of you on the live stream, you got anything, throw it at us real quick here before we sign off. We'll be glad to entertain a few questions.
Yeah.
See what's going on. As I save this one off here.
Save that off. Let me see what's happening over on the live stream. 461. Nope. We're good. 4 people. That's pretty much us.
Somebody else just dialed in here because there was 3. So yeah, we're just wrapping up the show.
Oh, that might have been me.
Okay. So if you got anything, throw it at us. But I think I think we're going to wrap up the show this week.
And we'll see everybody next week. Hopefully we'll be talking results of the deer browse.
I don't know if we'll have it back that quick. I hope we do, but if we don't, obviously, I'm going to be up north next week. Hopefully, I get an opportunity. Charles Barham.
Looking at the pictures, there doesn't seem to be much deer browse up there. Was there any suggestions on what you should be planting to get deer through the winter?
Not from the person who helped us do the study. Actually, I had a consultant on the property the day we found the dead deer when I put the trail cams up.
Oh, yeah.
And we're working through some of those things. I've got some ideas. Our camp manager has some ideas, but we're not really sure we're headed in the right direction, and we wanted to get some more input, and we're working through those things. I can't say a lot about it right this minute, but hopefully we'll have something, Charles, that we'll be able to bring and share, at some point here in the near future.
That'll be cool.
So I hope that answers the question. Tom Genzel, don't know the reason, but I lost the feed twice. Got it back. It's got to be your internet connection.
We actually did good.
Yeah.
Everything went through. We didn't have no hiccups.
Yeah, actually, Tom, we've actually hardwired in now instead of doing. We did broadband for quite a while, and doing not broadband,
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. We did Wi-Fi for quite a while, and we were getting a lot of dropouts and things. And since we went to a direct hardwire line into the router, everything is stabilized pretty well. So
yeah, we hope you're enjoying the show, and
hopefully get out and get a bird too, man. I know turkey season's upon us here, and I think I assume you're hunting the later part of the season, probably 234, like Mr. Miller is, if I'm not mistaken. So, and Charles Barham just joined back in as well. I wonder, maybe there's something going on with the feed, but on our end here, everything looks solid as a rock. It
was a sun flare.
Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't an EMP.
Right.
So, but no, we appreciate you guys, throwing questions our way, and
absolutely.
Everything is good. So I'll tell you what, we're going to sign off right now, and you guys tune in next week. Hopefully we'll have something good to report from my trip up north.
And you didn't even get to try the jerky.
Oh,
is it unfrozen?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It was a deep freeze.
Danny brought me a package of jerky, and I want to thank Kelly.
Kelly made it 100% on her own.
So,
actually, that's from her deer.
Okay, so we're gonna try this out here. A good UP buck, and we'll have us a little snack here later on this evening.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Here on the feed, we're gonna sign out. I hope everybody has a good week. If you're getting out there in the water in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next time on the Up North Journal.